Hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque, painting live on May 6th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we are working on our Be Happy Brenda's Bisque box for May, which is our bee house. And then our fairies, Ava and Eva. So thank you for joining us tonight. And here is our house. And we got as far as dry brushing our little green on there last week. So I hope everyone had a good week. And I see a few of you already posted your pictures, so you already have yours painted, so that's awesome. So I hope everyone had a good week. And we are on number 3. And we need to dry brush a little bit of white on our house and then a little bit of lemon peel over that just to brighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to grab our white OS 431, our Dunkin' White OS 431, and we'll give that a good little shake and get us a little pile. And then we will grab a dry brush, and I'm just going to go with a size 5. And it's worn down, so it looks a little bit smaller, but it is a size 5. And when we're dry brushing, I just go into the edge of the paint a little bit and then brush it out on my paper towel. And I'll do that a couple times just to get the paint worked up in there. And now I'm going to brush back and forth across my texture, my bark lines that are going vertical. We're going to go across those so we don't fill them in. And we're just going to give it a little shade of white on here, and that'll just lighten it up just a little bit. And then we'll come back and put a little bit of the lemon yellow over it just to make it, you can see it'll get a lot brighter with that yellow. And the white is going to help bring that yellow out a little bit. So I'm not putting a lot on, just a little bit, just a light, really slight, kind of a little light white wash. Almost. So we'll do that. So I start on one side usually and then work my way around clockwise just so I know where I've been and where I need to go. As you can see now, this side's a little bit whiter than that side, but once we put our lemon peel on there, that'll bring that yellow, kind of more limey yellow color for us, so it's nice and bright and happy and cheery and summery. So we're just brushing back and forth. Nice light strokes with a fairly dry brush, but that white is in there and it's just putting on a nice light layer. And once it doesn't seem like there's anything going on, you can go back and grab a little more and then brush it out good. And we're just brushing real light, just back and forth. Don't worry about getting it on the ladybug because she'll get her rust and then her red, so that won't hurt her any. And I actually seen a ladybug last week, a real ladybug and not the Japanese beetles, when we were outside at the farmhouse looking at the gardens. So we have lots of tulips and daffodils blooming out there right now, so it looks pretty good. Well, maybe we'll have to take some pictures of them and send them. The bridal veil shrub is blooming. That's a pretty old shrub. You don't even see that in the nurseries very often anymore, but it's really pretty. Kind of messy once it gets done blooming, but it is really pretty. So I'll have to take a picture of that. I didn't really have the time. So we are shipping your box this week. We'll be shipping more tomorrow, and if Courtney messaged you, maybe you have extras in yours. Will probably be going Monday or Tuesday to get all those.
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Courtney says she's told you guys Wednesday, so you already know that they're coming later. So it's been a really busy week. So it's been a busy week again, as usual. So Courtney's ready to fall asleep back there behind me already.
Tired.
Let's see, I stopped and got concrete blocks today before I came to Courtney so we can put shelving up in the other storage unit next Thursday. We're going to be working on that. Wednesday we're both actually taking off and going greenhouse shopping. Get a few plants for the classroom outside and then some for my window boxes at home. And Courtney's got a window box here too. Huh? Oh, it's covered up with a shed. You don't have it no more. Oh.
It's there, but it won't get no sun.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, you could put flowers in it that don't need sun, like impatiens.
I like sweet potato vines.
Oh, Courtney likes sweet potato vines, but they take sun. You'll have to put them on get a basket and put it on the front porch or something.
Black petunias.
With black petunias, she gets sweet potato vine, which is a really lime green, almost like our little house here. Black petunias, and then there's something else. And then pink geraniums, hot pink geraniums. So it's actually really pretty. Okay, so we have our nice light layer of white on there. So now we are going to go to our lemon peel and make it nice and limey green. So I have lemon peel OS435, and we're going to give that a nice shake. So did you guys plant your, if you noticed in your little contents package, you had a little package of the Cosmos seeds. They're little pink and white flowers. They should sprout really easy and grow really easy. They're Courtney says if she can grow them, anybody can grow them. They're really easy, kind of like the marigolds and zinnias to grow. You just throw them in the ground and they sprout and grow. So has everybody or anybody planted theirs? It's too cold here by us to do that yet. Our last freeze date is usually Memorial Weekend. Although those are seeds, so they could go in the pots. It probably wouldn't hurt much. So I'm using I used the same brush because it was white and it's not really contaminated with the white in it. And I'm just brushing it out and kind of building it up. So now I'm going to brush really, really lightly. And that will give our green kind of a yellow-green look to it.
Wanda's already sprouting.
Wanda's already sprouting? Oh, awesome. Yeah, those are really easy flower to grow. So you can plant them in a pot. You might have to support them with like a tomato cage or something, or you can just throw them right in the ground too. So Courtney likes those, so she picked those out for you guys. So Denise says it's too cold there. Yep, too cold here too. And then if you get it too yellow, you can actually go back over it with the lime burst, and that'll bring the green back into it also. So don't worry if you get too much yellow. We're just going to bring a nice little, really light coat of the lemon peel on here to like just brighten it up more, brighten up that green. And we'll just work our way right around. So let's see. Oh, Chris planted hers. Awesome.
If anybody's waiting to hear from me, I will get with them shortly.
Courtney says if anybody's waiting to hear from her, if you're waiting to hear from her, she'll be getting with you, messaging you.
Farmhouse doesn't have internet, so it's a problem.
Huh?
The farmhouse not having internet.
Yeah, Courtney's been working at the farmhouse shipping, and the internet is really terrible out there, so she can't do any messaging out there. So by the time she gets home, it's an hour drive, and there's just not enough time in the days. But if you haven't heard from her, you will be. So just she says you are accounted for, but just she's working on it. So let's see. Sunday is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and grandmothers out there. And so now I did get too much more yellow on there than I want, so I'm going to actually come back with the lime burst over the top of that, and that'll kind of green that back up a little more. We do have gift certificates on Brenda's brushstrokesandbisque.com. So if someone doesn't know what to get you, you can tell them to get you a gift certificate. And I think all they need is an email, and then it emails it to you, and then you can use it online on Brenda's brushstrokesandbisque.com. We did get Courtney's big brush order in this week, so.
Oh, I have sad news with that.
Oh, and she says she has sad news with that.
One of the new liners they were out of.
And one of the new liners,
They're back ordered, so
they're back ordered. We didn't, I think she got 3 of 45.
yeah.
So it's not, that wasn't a very pretty situation.
No.
Because we actually thought they were sending them because they were sending them from the factory. But the factory didn't have them either, so that was a little disappointing.
Game plan is to get with him and see if he can just have them in time to ship next month.
So Courtney's gonna get all.
Before I, like, refund or anything.
Okay. So Courtney's gonna
Reach out.
touch base with them and see what their plan is, or what the status is. So hold tight with that because we thought they were coming and he shipped what he had and the rest were supposed to come to from the factory
That was
and
a shock.
and they weren't in there, so it wasn't very good. So I'm just gonna go back to my lime burst a little bit because it's just a little bit more yellow than I want. So I'm gonna go with my Mako SS376 lime burst, and just a real light layer of that will bring the green back in where I got too much yellow. So I'm just gonna work that in there a little bit. So getting brushes has kind of been a problem, just like all the other supplies. I called this week to order 3 pallets of slip, and they're actually for the clay and the talc for making slip in there. And then we added molds for your July box, and they're 6 weeks behind, so that means we won't get to July molds till the middle of June. So I had to order extra ones. But just everything is behind or out, or it's just not a good market out there right now as far as obtaining things that you need. It's a little frustrating. Boxes we thought were coming like last week didn't get in until this week, and yep, Cordy says the supply chains are jacked up. That's her version of it. They're just jacked up. So I'm just putting just one little light coat of the lime burst over that yellow just to bring tone the yellow down a little bit. I probably got a little too heavy while I was talking here, but it's looking pretty good now. And again, you guys can always paint your little houses, whatever projects, whatever color you want. They don't have to be the color I did. So that's looking pretty good now. It's a little more green instead of so yellow. So we have number 3 drawn. So now we are going to dry brush. We're on to number 4. We're going to dry brush the roof and the door overhang with rust. So let me see, where's my rust? That's red, and isn't rust. I don't have rust up here. Let's see, where's rust? That or I can't see. Oh, here it is, I got it. Can't see, yep. So I have my Doc Holiday DH28 rust, but you could use, Duncan has a rust, you can use that too. So we'll get a little pile of that. And I'm actually going to switch to a different brush now because I'm changing colors from green and yellow to rust. And we have a pretty good size area, so I'm going to go at about a size 8 here. I think this is, yep. And I'm just using a dry brush, and a dry brush is a boar bristle or hog bristle brush. It's a natural hair brush. And you grab a little paint and you brush it out on your paper towel or your paper plate or your coffee filter or your paper bag, whatever you're using. So now I'm looking at my roof shingles and they're going down, so I'm going to go across them. So we're going to dry brush across them. And we got a long ways to go because you can see we have lots of black, 100% black color wash on there, and we want to get that down to about 10% of black, just down in all the little crevices. So we have a question, what am I doing for Mother's Day? Really haven't even thought about that yet. Huh? It's Sunday, Courtney.
This Sunday?
This Sunday, Courtney.
Oh, crap.
Courtney says, oh crap, you guys. I'll probably go in to my parents' house for a little while because I haven't been there. We usually cooked out there, but they're getting older and they really can't, they don't like all the people there at one time, so I'll probably go after dinner and there a little while. I don't know, I guess Wednesday we're going greenhouse shopping. That'll be my day off with Courtney, so I guess that'll be our Mother's Day.
It's next Sunday then, right?
No, it's Sunday.
But we usually go greenhouse shopping before Mother's
We do, but we didn't have time this week. We're doing boxes. So normally we go greenhouse shopping the week before Christmas, good grief. The week before Mother's Day.
The week before Christmas.
The week before Mother's Day is when we normally go greenhouse shopping, but with shipping the boxes, we weren't able to do that this week. That's usually when they're like full to the brims and ready for everybody to shop because people are buying Mother's Day flowers, of course, and some stuff can be gone already next week if you don't. That's why I like to go the week before Mother's Day, but it's been too cold here to put stuff out anyway, and usually even though I go the week before Mother's Day, I usually cart the stuff in and out, and I just left it this week because we're busy with the boxes. So we'll go Wednesday. It'll be all right. They'll put new stuff out. I mean, they may not have some of the stuff, but it's been cold. I don't think that many people really been shopping. But
Everybody's been shopping everywhere.
And we want to get the front of our little ledge here with our rust too. So I'm not using a real small brush. I'm using the size 8 because we do have a pretty good size area to get. So what do you guys all do for Mother's Day? Does everyone go out to eat, or what do you do? Hang out at home? Go to the zoo? Cordy and I will be hanging out all week already because we're doing the box, but Wednesday we're doing
We've been hanging out for the last 2 years.
greenhouse shopping, and Thursday will be that don't count moving molds and stuff like that. She says we've been hanging out for the last 2 years. I guess she's getting sick of me. So we'll be going greenhouse shopping one day, and then we'll be working in the storage unit, moving molds and moving them out of my garage. So that'll be my Mother's Day gift, I guess. Moving the stuff out of the garage so we can get the pouring stuff in the garage.
I'm making breakfast. I can make you breakfast, but you'll have a terrible rest of your day.
Oh, Cordy says she'll make breakfast, but I won't have a good rest of the. But you can't cook eggs, so we don't want you making breakfast. I'll pass on that one. She makes rubberized eggs.
They're terrible.
I'll go just have a bowl of cereal. That's okay. Or you can go to the bakery and grab something.
I can get you something in the bakery.
That'll suffice. I'll pass on your eggs. So, but I do like breakfast made.
Just not by your daughter.
Just not by Courtney. Yep. Yeah, I like a ham and cheese omelet with American cheese. But we'll pass because she's not an egg cooker. I don't know what happened.
Eggs and rice.
Eggs and rice, she says. Yeah. So we're just building up our rust and getting a nice roof on here. You can see we probably have we're not at 50% yet, but we can still see a lot of black through our rust, and we don't want to see the black through the rust except down in the crevices and where the shingles overlap each other. We want the black down in there. So you can see we're probably at 40%, just trying to give you an idea of how much to do. So on the finished one, you can see the black is mainly down in any crevices, and the rest is covered with rust. So we have a ways to go yet with our rust, so I need a little bit more. So we'll grab some more. I just stopped at Menards and got cement blocks, and I did walk through the garden center, and they have quite a few flowers in there, but they also had quite a few empty shelves, so I don't know if that's because of the coldness yet or what.
People been shopping.
Cordy says it's because they've been shopping. Nah, can't be that shopped out yet. It's too early. So we're going to work our way around here. And you do have to kind of change your piece around so you can get the different angles, like on these shingles now here in the front. We want to get those a little bit. I'm just changing it around, and same with our little bottom. You want to get along the bottom here. But we are letting that black that'll go between the yellow and the rust. And we'll come right up to our B here. And don't worry about getting it on the B because those colors will take care of that. And we got to get our little flap up here. So I just work from one side to the other. That way the other one side is drying and one side you're working on. That way when you come back, the Colors stick to it nice. So let's see. Brenda McCoy Lucas says she's working. Mary Ann says poor Courtney. Poor me. She can't even cook breakfast eggs. That's like the simplest thing to cook.
No.
Nope, she says. I don't know. Pancakes. Can you make pancakes?
Can you tell that type? Is anyone else not seeing the comments?
Oh, no one's seeing the comments? Oh. Looks like they're coming here. Chris is hanging out at home. Let's see. Paula says, is anyone not seeing the comments? I don't know. Facebook has had a lot of issues lately. I've been watching Michael Harbridge, and his went really well last night, but then I watched Paula Mccoy's from Tuesday last night while the kiln was firing too, and one of hers, she actually had to start a whole new video section because it completely cut her off. So if anyone's, Paula McCoy is with Colors for Earth, and she does lives on Tuesday night, so you could, and she'll, not every Tuesday, I don't think, I'm not sure, but occasionally on Tuesdays you'll see she posts things. She has really good instructions too, and it has the Colors for Earth brand. It's the fired products, right? So if you're into fire products, but she also has like glaze enamels, color concentrates, and color strokes, and glazes. So if you have a kiln and have access to that, you may enjoy her videos too. She does beautiful brush strokes, like with flowers and leaves and twining and things. So you may really enjoy that. I know I did. And then Michael Harbridge is every other Wednesday, and he does lots of more clay work. Beautiful pieces of, this week it was flower bowls with impressions in the clay, and then he made petals with the clay. So that's every other Wednesday, so you can watch those videos too if you're looking for more videos to watch. And those videos are saved, so you can always, just like ours are, you can go back and watch them at a later date if you can't watch the day that they're on. So there's plenty of free education out there if you don't have a shop close to you. You just got to do a little searching around. Mako does a Tip Tuesday, so you can go to the Mako's Colors on Facebook, and they have it's called Tip Tuesdays, and you can listen to those. They had a studio owner on this week. She was doing stoneware glazes, but they also talk about different business things and customers and things. So you may get something out of it, even though if you don't have access to kilns, or still always interesting to learn what's out there and what's going on. So there's lots of free stuff out there. Our videos are all free too. We have almost 2 years worth. They'd be on our video tab right here on our Facebook page, Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque. Courtney says she's behind on YouTube. Way behind, she says. So you can go back and watch those.
One of those she doesn't have a kiln, but some of the techniques you can probably.
Right, so who doesn't have a kiln?
Wanda.
Yeah, a lot of our people don't have kilns. I mean, that's why we're doing the shipping the box to start out with. But even though you don't have a kiln, like when I watched Paula McCoy's, she was doing a ceramics piece. It was like a square plate and like a clay pot, and she was painting flowers and a bird on it. And even though she was using the fired products, you could still use those same brush strokes and techniques with your acrylics. So it still can be really, really educational, because you don't have to use the fired products. You can use your acrylics and just learn different brush strokes, like how to make the different leaves, and she did shading with side loading her brush. And so don't think just because something's done in a fired piece that you can't learn from it, because you can actually learn a lot anyway. There's still things to learn. She talked about she used a sumi brush for a bit like base coating. She was putting on glaze, and how the sumi brush put on a nice layer without brush strokes, and how to like brush and not get brush strokes. So you can still learn from fired people, even though you don't have a kiln. You can still pick things up that you can carry over into the into your non-fired work. So hopefully, you know, still might find it helpful. She might give you one tip that might just really be a lifesaver for you. You never know. She talked about how to clean your brushes and how to load your brushes, and it can definitely be helpful. Don't just think just because it's fired stuff that it's not for you, because you can still learn. So we're just building up our rust here. You can see we can still see a little bit of black through it. So we're going to keep grabbing a little bit of rust, brushing it out, and brushing across our little roof tiles here, and just build up that color. I mean, you can have black coming through if you want, because maybe you want it to be a little more rustic. I wanted mine to be a little more new looking, I guess you could say. So I did put more rust on it. So now I have this side done, so we're going to get our edges again. And it's always interesting to listen to other people's thoughts of how they design work or where they start on projects. It's good to listen to other people's stuff too, because you can learn from everybody. So find out about different products that are out there, and I always find it useful to watch other people's stuff. So we're going to keep brushing up our rust here and get that built up. And one of her other videos I watched was she was painting enamels on glass, like a double thickness glass. So that was something I've always wanted to try too. But then that also gets fired. But it's just another thing to do. Kind of looks like stained glass once it's fired. It like all fuses together, the enamel paint on the glass. So we're just going to keep working our way here with the rust. So Denise says it's terrible. I've been waiting for 2 years now.
For a
kiln. Oh.
For rewiring our kiln.
Oh, for rewiring it, yeah. I know our kiln at the shop, since I changed the element in it, the switch hasn't been, it's taken a lot to push the switch to get it to kick in, and now yesterday it wouldn't kick in, so I'm going to have to take that bugger apart and see if it's wore out or if I didn't get it back together quite right.
It always seemed like it was hard to push, though.
Yeah, it wouldn't engage yesterday at all, so I didn't have the patience to take it apart yesterday. And I can't be tired when I do that, because I know I won't be able to put it back together. I won't know how to put it back together, so I'll have to do that on a good day where the brain is fresh and can think. But it's nice having it out there. Otherwise, I had to haul everything home yesterday, and then I fired 2 loads at home instead of 1. So we're just building up that rust on here, getting rid of the black, so we don't see a lot of black. It's just down in those crevices. So let's see. So Brenda says Paula does glass 1 week and ceramic the next week. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. I was watching her like at 11 o'clock last night while I was waiting for the big kiln to get done. But I certainly enjoyed it. Lots of good information, especially with the different brush strokes. So I don't know if you guys would be interested in more acrylic brush stroke type stuff, more design type stuff, or staying with what we're doing, the dry brushing on the pieces, but that's something we could do too, because I did take China painting classes, and we did a lot of brush stroke work with that.
She takes pictures before she takes stuff apart.
Yeah, Talisa, I do that too, and then I have my little notebook, and I write stuff down, and then I have my tape, and I'll label wires and things, like this is A and this is B, and then I put that in my notebook and make drawings of where stuff goes to. So I can get it attached back to the right connector, because we would have a problem if it wasn't connected right. We'd probably have sparks. Corey says we've had sparks, but that's more because something's been touching the tin or something ain't right. Oh, but I gotta take kiln apart when I'm on a non-tired out day where the brain's fully engaged. So we're going to.
We don't have those anymore.
Corey says we don't have those anymore. Yeah. So we're just building up our rust here. It's getting just a little bit more. We can't see too much black through it, so we're pretty close. We're probably at like 85%. And I just really want it down in those crevices. And you can see I just keep working around and around. That way where I was, well, where my hand is, it's drying, and I have dry brushing here on this side. Did you put the link for the gift certificates for Mother's Day?
No, I started to. I think I got distracted.
Oh, we distracted you?
Yeah. I just started talking about my egg cooking.
Oh, the egg cooking. Let's see, we did order your July molds for Christmas in July. And can I give them a hint or not? Like I could give them 2 hints. Well, probably just 1.
Your hints will probably give it away.
Cordy says my hints will give it away. Well, it's Christmas, because it's Christmas in July.
But it's not like Christmas. It's winter. Oh yeah, I guess it is Christmas.
It is Christmas.
Yeah. There's their hint. It isn't Christmas, but yet it is.
Cordy says it is Christmas, but yet it isn't. Oh, Lord, Cordy. I mean, it's...
The item is a Christmas item, but the content isn't.
Okay, so Cordy says the item is a Christmas item, but the content isn't.
And we've never done anything like it.
And we haven't done anything like it before. Right? Nope, we haven't done anything like it before. It's 6 pieces.
Now we gave it away.
No, I didn't give it away.
Somebody did it.
No, that's all we can tell you then. But it is Christmas related, because it's Christmas in July. It's Christmas related, but kind of not. We think you guys will enjoy it. It's something we haven't done before, so something a little different.
If they like our December boxes, they'll like it.
So Cordy says if you like the December boxes, you will like it.
See if anybody gets that.
So see if anybody gets that hint, she says. So we'll see. And then we have to figure out what August. We kind of figured out what August and September will be.
Yeah.
I think August will be either pumpkins or gourds, and then September. Huh?
Paula got it.
Cordy says Paula got it. Well, Paula, you got it. You're on.
She's been with us a long time.
You're on the right track, Paula. Let's put it that way. It has to do with something with snowmen and Christmas related, so. Oh, and Brenda likes gourds. Okay, so yeah, I'm deciding if it's going to be gourds or pumpkins. We're not sure for August. And then September will be Halloween, so you guys will have that for. Yeah, Cordy picked out the Halloween, so we'll have to put in a clay magic order. So while I was talking and painting away here, I forgot to go to our little thatched roof here on the front, so now we'll have to come back and do that. So that's what happens when you talk too much instead of painting. So it looks like we got a love snowman, so that's good. So now I'm going to brush back and forth here across my little thatched roof over his back door, and we'll have to get that built up. Huh? Yeah, we hoped you guys would like snowmen. Everybody usually kind of likes snowmen, so it's something to do with snowmen and Christmas. Let's see what else. Oh, I'll show you our next box again at the end of the show tonight.
They're gonna get a head start on Christmas.
Oh, for June, I don't have June's yet, but I can show you May's shipping right now. I have 4 sets of June poured, but I don't have any painted yet. Because we're,
More than that,
yeah, probably 5 sets.
I got a whole shelf section of them.
Yeah, but so that, like, that's 6 of them poured 4 times, so that's
Oh, okay.
24.
Gotcha.
So 24 like that. So there's like 24 poured. And then I don't know if I'm doing them in like traditional colors or like really bright,
Bright,
funky colors.
bright, funky.
Cordy says bright, funky. So, and then I'm deciding if we're going to do a pattern.
Like make your sister proud.
Really gaudy, you mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe a mandala pattern
Yeah, you can-
on them. So hopefully next week I'll get to them. I don't know that I'll get to them by Thursday because we're going to be busy week with. We are taking Wednesday off because neither one of us has had a day off in a while. And then Thursday we'll be putting shelves in the storage unit. So I probably won't get to them. We'll have to see how Sunday and Monday goes. Now I want to get underneath his little thatched roof here, so I'm just going to turn it upside down and brush back and forth. And get that covered too. Kind of right up to the door. So our May box that we're shipping currently is Boris the Gnome and then the Mushroom, and you guys could have added the extra Hannah and Morty and Papa, or Pappy, I guess his name is Pappy.
Poppy or Pappy?
I thought it was Pappy.
Oh, I thought it was Poppy.
Courtney thinks it's Poppy, so I'm not sure, but the sitting guy. And he'd be really cute sitting on a little, if you didn't know what to do with him, like if you had a little wood branch, like a little stump, you could sit him on a stump. I actually have going to try to make like a little fairy garden with them in a wagon, so we'll have to see if I have time for that, and then I could show you guys a picture.
Oh, that's what you're doing with that?
Yeah. But he'd be cute just sitting on a little wood stump if you can get like a little 4-inch piece of wood stump and sit him on that if you didn't know what to do with him.
Simone asked if you had gingerbread pieces.
Oh, Simone asked you if you had gingerbread pieces. Well, that was one of the things I had suggested, and
You got a veto.
I got vetoed. So we're not gonna have Oh, but we do have gingerbread. She could get it. Is she a boxer? You could get it as extra bisque. I do have the gingerbread Donna's gingerbread ornaments. We have several of those. So you could get it as extra bisque. So Paula says, I already painted all the gnomes you mentioned, but the one in the box. Ah, that's good. All right, so we got our roof on and our overhang. And now we got to move to our trim, and we're going to have to do yellow for that. So we're going to go with our brighter yellow first, which is our lemon peel, and I already have that on there. Now this is a little area, so I don't want to be using this big brush, so I get stuff all over. I'm actually going to go back to my little brush, my size 5 here, but I might have to go a little smaller yet too. So now we're going to dry brush this, the overhang or the soffit, and get that yellow on there. And that's a little smoother, so I like to do it's like a backwards comma or a C stroke. On the little edge here, I'll actually go back and forth so I can work my way towards the rust and still let some of the black down in there. And I'll probably actually switch to a smaller brush to do that. Oh, Cordy says my hand's covering. Let's see if we can change it around here.
It's nice when you can see what the
Yep. So here's that. It's like the letter C. I'm doing like the letter C because it's so smooth, and that helps like blend that down in there. So hopefully you can see I got my hand up a little further on the brush. And we'll just work our way all the way around here. And I won't get real close. I'll probably switch to just a little bit smaller brush to do that. But we'll get the first coat around the edge here. And if you have a lot of paint going on or it's really shiny and wet, then your brush, you have too much paint in it. I'll just move my hand up the brush here so you guys can see a little better. So for those smooth surfaces, I like to do like that letter C or a half circle or a backwards comma, whatever you want to call it. So, okay, what's IKR stand for? I don't know.
It means I know, right?
Oh, I know, right? Okay, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, Paula, you're too smart. Oh my goodness.
Learning some lingo now.
I'm going to learn lingo tonight, Courtney says. Computer lingo. Here we go. What else can we throw at me?
You know what OMG is, right?
Oh, I know what OMG is, yep. What else is there?
BRB.
Be right back.
Okay.
BRB.
Oh,
be right back. Oh boy, I didn't know what IKR is though. Never heard that one before.
If I know, right?
That's a good one. Oh my God. Technology.
You should tell them the first time you got a smartphone and you didn't know how to put a space between the words.
Oh, Courtney said when I first got my smartphone, which isn't that many years ago, I didn't know how to put a space between the words, so it was one big old word, and she had to figure out what I was trying to type. And that went on for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't know about these.
Oh, you don't know any, Courtney? Really? PIR. Okay, I don't know. LMBO. I know what LMOA is, though. That one I know. Okay, what's PIR, you guys? Pretty in red. Pretty in red. How's that? I don't think that's it, though. And I don't know what the next one is either. LMBO. I don't know. Oh, parents in room. Oh. Oh, you must have little kids or teenagers. Parents in room. Oh my God. Okay, what else we got? Huh?
Look what you missed out on.
What I missed? What do you mean?
You didn't have to
deal with
smartphones when I was in
right?
school.
Look what you missed out on.
I'm happy. Laughed my butt off. I didn't know that one.
Courtney's didn't know that one either, you guys. Parents in room. Oh my goodness.
Laughed my butt off.
Oh, laughing my butt off. Oh, that's a good one. I know the LMOA. I know that one. What else is there? There's too many of them. And Candy's enjoying painting the fairies in the house. Great, that's good. So I just worked my way around each of these little soffits here with our lemon peel. You can see, we can see a lot of black through it, and a lot of people think once they got that first layer like that, that's enough, but because we can see all that black through, like in this area here, like that's not enough paint. We just want the black down in the crevices. So that's where that little bit more always comes in that they always hear at the classroom.
You know what ICYMI is?
ICYMI? I don't know.
In case you missed it.
Oh, in case you missed it. Did you know that?
Nope.
Oh, we'll see.
Google.
Oh my goodness.
We're learning stuff.
Well, Courtney's even learning tonight, you guys. She won't paint, but she's learning some computer lingo. So, all right, so we're just going to keep working our way around. So you can see I went down that side, and now I'm coming up this other side. I'm being kind of careful here so I don't get my yellow on my rust, and there's kind of a nice little ridge there, so you can kind of just run it on that ridge, and that'll let that black down in that crevice there for you. Just brushing fairly lightly, trying to keep my big hand out of the way so you guys can see. Courtney's got peonies with buds on already too. It's a lot warmer down here, even though she's only an hour away from me.
My daylilies are monsters.
She said her daylilies are monsters. Mine are probably too, but I haven't even been in the backyard to look at anything. Nothing's cut back yet or anything from last year. It's not a pretty sight. So we're just working our way around, brushing that lemon peel on here. You can see it's a lot of black here, and we're getting less and less. So each time you go around, it gets less and less. It just takes patience, and you just keep building it up. It's better to do a bunch of light layers than one heavy glob, wet glob at a time. So just be patient and just keep working your way around. Let's see, we had our mosaic snail class on Sunday and everyone had fun with that. Several have to come back and grout yet, but well, that's what I was going to look at Menards. I forgot to look at grout. So we have 6 colors and I was just going to look to see if they had any new ones. So we're going to kind of work on doing a kit for that too, that we can maybe, you could have like a special one-time purchase or something, then we could ship it and do a video with it, but we have not had time at all. So, but the snail was a lot of fun. Mine was really ugly, probably the ugliest thing I've ever made. Honestly,
it to me.
I was actually making it for Cordy, but it's
Going to the farmhouse.
It's got to stay at the farmhouse because it's supposed to be purple and it doesn't look bad now with the dark grout in it, but it looked like red, white, and blue instead of purple. The purples just weren't purple enough. And then the crystal glaze, it had lavender background with orange, yellow, and green. And I think if I did it again, I would do it, and then some red, I would do it with the red, orange, and yellow. It would look a lot better. But I was trying to do purple for her to bring the purple out, but it just really didn't. It's hard to find purple, like real true purple stained glass.
Gail asked, does your roof only get one color and not 3?
So we have a question, does the roof only have one color and not 3? Yep, that would be right. We just did the rust on it to kind of have it the terracotta. So you can
highlight with the color?
You could highlight it, but we kind of decided just to leave it the terracotta color. It does have the black, so that is like, so it kind of does have 2 colors. Where I usually do the 3 colors, but I kind of left it with just the rust on it to keep it like more terracotta-ish looking. I think I actually put the highlighting color on it and didn't like it and went back and put the rust back over it. So we're just building up that yellow, bringing it around. Just keep working our way around and around. Leaving the black between the green and the yellow right where they meet. I kind of do littler C strokes and nudge that over. That way I can see where the paint is going on. And then just keep coming right around and around. And I need some more yellow. These were pretty fun to paint. It seems like there's a lot on them, but they go pretty good. We did the dragonfly one last year. Would you guys think you'd want another one to go with this set again next year for April, or should we switch over to something different? Because I think there's a few more we could get to kind of keep going with this set. You'll have to let us know what you guys like. And Chris is going out with, so good night, Chris. Thanks for joining us. So we're hoping everyone's enjoying the videos. You guys seem to, so that's good. We're just working our lemon peel in here. Let's see, we still weren't able to get charcoal and ash in. Because we ordered.
able to take a lot of colors.
Oh, Cordy says she couldn't get a lot of colors. Okay.
It's a situation.
She says it's a situation.
Hopefully it improves.
Yeah, you would think pretty soon this stuff would gets better.
Everybody's going to bed early.
Everyone's going to bed early, or are they just saying goodnight to
Oh,
Chris?
I got it. I'm just ready for bed.
Cordy says she's ready for bed. Oh, let's see. I seen a hummingbird yesterday for the first time at the classroom.
Did you ask the question? Because everybody said yes.
Oh, I asked them if they wanted Fairy House to go with this one next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think there's another. I don't think
more fairies.
there's more fairies, but there's no more boy fairies. There are some girl fairies, and then there's more. There's more fairy houses, so we could.
We haven't done Japan. Whatever his name is.
Oh, isn't that the one we did last year? There's one more. I thought there was only 2.
Yeah, we didn't do both.
Oh, because we didn't get him, did we? Oh, so there is a boy. So we could probably do the boy next year and another girl and then another house if you guys are liking that. Kind of add to the set. You can make a whole little village. I was thinking about debating about putting these in the wagon or putting the gnomes in the wagon with making a little garden. Then I can, I'll take a picture and show you guys.
And you should put the gnomes in the wagon.
Courtney thinks the gnomes should go in the wagon.
It's red, it'll be cute.
Huh?
The red. And
The red.
it'll be cute.
Yeah. So we got a lot of questions going on. What we got?
What happened?
Do you ever glaze and fire here? Okay. So we do glaze and fire at the classroom, but for the boxes, our subscription boxes for our Thursday night classes, those are only we only do non-fired techniques. I started the box because a lot of people were commenting they wanted to learn how to do ceramics again, and there's no shops near them, which is pretty much the case where I am. So that's why we do only non-fired techniques with the box, because if you don't have a shop or don't have the kiln, you really wouldn't be able to do, we wouldn't be able to do a fired box, so we wouldn't want you to have to send it back to us, and that would just kind of be a mess. So Thursday nights are just non-fired techniques. It's not only dry brushing. We've also done, we've antiqued, we've painted things out, we've used the metallic rub-ons. We've used chalks. We've done different non-fired techniques. Although a lot of dry brushing, because that's kind of the common thing. We do firing and glazing at the classroom though, so we try to post a few of those pictures every now and then, but I know like you guys are more the non-fired because you don't have access to the shops. I know a few of you do have kilns though, but most of you don't, so that's why we do non-fired techniques. And I do have a bunch of old, the arts and crafts and fired, I can't think what the name of it, those magazines in my filing cabinet, and I'm going to look through those when I have time to see if there's some older things in there that we can bring back too to show you guys to do. We've done the color washing and the antiquing, just to try to show you the different things you can do with the acrylics. Did a little bit of chalking. The rub-on metallics too. Oh, we did the Crackle technique using Elmer's Glue-All glue. And I'm thinking about maybe doing something like that if we do gourds or pumpkins, something different than dry brushing, but some kind of different technique with them too. So I'll have to dig in my file cabinet and see what we can come up with.
Norma asked if you could explain color washing again and what kind of paint you use.
Okay, so we have a question if I could explain color washing. So color wash used to be a product we used to be able to buy maybe 15 years ago or so. And then it's been discontinued. A lot of products we used to use, say 15 to 20 years ago, are no longer available. But for the color washing, we've kind of like created our own version of it. And we'll take our acrylic paint and mix it 50-50 with water. So when we color washed this guy, so these pieces were color washed to begin with, and it was it three times ago? So not last week, but the video before at the end of it, we color washed these, and with color washing, we mixed about a tablespoon of paint, and we used black, but you can use any color, it depends what you're doing. For snowmen, I like to use blue or teal or purple. Animals, I like to use black. Spring and pastel colored things, I like to use like a mocha brown, like a medium to dark brown. For these guys, I just decided to use the black because it'll bring out the bright colors that we're using. So you mix that paint, like a tablespoon of paint to a tablespoon of water, so it's a 50-50 mix, stir it up. you paint on a 3x3 area, and then you take a sponge and wipe it off. And you can see it wipes it off on the high spots, so it doesn't take as much dry brushing. And then you move on to your next 3x3 area and wipe it off, and then your next 3x3 area. You can see like on the house here, there's the high parts are wiped off, and that just makes the dry brushing go a little bit faster. But you can color wash. Some people don't think you only color wash with black, but you can color wash with different colors. It really depends what you're doing. So I'm actually gonna, so that's color washing. It's kind of like antiquing, although it's hard to, there were lots of translucent and antiquing colors, and we don't have access to many of those anymore either. So you can even antique after this piece. Say I wanted to paint it out and then antique it. I could use that same color wash and then paint it on in like a 3x3 area and wipe it off as much as I wanted. The thing with antiquing, it's going to actually dull these colors a little bit. They're not going to be the true bright colors that they are right now, but it would leave the antique color down in the crevices. So that's why I'm not a fan of antiquing anymore, but that was really popular in the 80s when I started. But because it does dull the trueness of these colors. They wouldn't be as true lemon peel yellow as it is, or the fuchsia. But for certain projects, it works fine. But I wanted really bright colors on this. So that's kind of the difference. So now I just switched to a smaller brush, my size 3, so I can get a little closer to my edges. And I'm going to use a flat one. That way I can turn it on its edge too when I need to. So I have a really wide area of black here. So I'm just going to work my yellow down in there just a little bit with the flat brush on its edge. And I can do the same on the underside here, just by starting away from it with those little C strokes. And then I can work closer to my little crevice down there and not have so much black. But it's easier to do that with this little brush, a size 3, than a 5. And it's, again, just a boar bristle brush.
Norma asked, do you have a base coat when you color wash?
So we have a question, do you have a base coat when you color wash? Nope, you take your white piece of bisque and you make your color wash that 50-50 water to paint. And you paint it right on your white bisque and then sponge it off on the high spots. If you didn't want to color wash this, you could just base coat the whole thing black or dark brown. That's just another option. I actually like base coating better than color washing. Color washing is kind of messy. You can see I got the table all stained up, and usually my hands are all stained up. And but I switch it off every once in a while so we can show any new people how to color wash. If you want to, you can go back to not last week's video, but the video before. Towards probably the last 10 minutes of it is where the color washing is. And you can actually watch how we do it. Because all our videos are saved, so you can go back and watch it.
They're under the video tab.
And it's under the video tab that's probably up on top, underneath the picture, underneath the main picture where it says like photos and I think groups and those kinds of things. There'll be a tab that says video, and you can go back to a video from 2 weeks ago, and that will show at the end, probably like I said, the last 10 minutes where we color wash these pieces.
We'll put the link.
Courtney's going to put the link even. Okay, so we have our yellow built up here pretty good. I'm going to get a little bit more up here with the little brush, just because there's so much black right here. I don't want quite that much black. So I'm just going to brush back and forth here, kind of build that up a little bit. So we have, Simone has a question. Do you recommend using a primer before base coating? No, not for ceramics. You don't need to. At least not for the acrylic paints.
If you're using like fashion hues or something, translucent.
Right, if you're using the fashion hues or the translucent stuff, then you probably have to use a primer type base coat. But for the regular acrylics, so Duncan calls theirs opaque acrylics, and different companies call them different names, but it's the same stuff. Mako calls theirs a water paste acrylic stain. Some call them a paint, but your basic acrylics, you don't need a primer for it. You can either base coat it, or color wash it, or you can paint your pieces and then antique them. So it all depends what you want your final result to be. So Courtney thinks her computer just crashed. So can you guys still see us? Is everything good online? My tablet looks okay, so hopefully the feed is okay. Courtney said her computer screen went white, and hopefully it's not Facebook and it's just her computer. Let's see. Yep, we got thumbs up. So Paula says, do you do the ceramic class while you're at Ocean?
All the Myrtle Beach people.
Oh, the Myrtle Beach people. Okay.
The Myrtle Beach ladies.
So I just do these the Thursday night classes here on the live. Oh, they're talking amongst themselves? Okay. Never mind, I guess. So, let's see.
One day maybe we'll make it out.
Okay. Yeah, maybe one day I'll be able to travel and teach or something. Then Courtney will have to start learning how to pour and clean and fire and paint. Maybe she'll be doing the lives. Courtney says she says who says she's staying home. So now I'm just going back to my rust because I have a little bit of yellow on my my little shingles here, and I'm just going to take my little brush. You can see there's a little yellow on there, and I just want to go back and touch that up so they have the nice crisp rust on them, and it's not faded over with the yellow. Also, Courtney's going to travel too. Okay. We'll see. We'll be sitting right here in cold Wisconsin. So I'm just touching up my rust a little bit because I have a little bit of yellow on it, and I don't want that. I want it to be nice and crisp with the rust. And it just takes a little bit to touch that up. So, got a little bit on this corner here. And I actually have my flat brush, my 3 turned on its edge, because then you have a nice thin brush then, so you can use your brushes on their edge as well. Don't be afraid to do that. I just almost like you have 2 sizes in one, so I have my 3 this way, and then I have my nice narrow brush if I just turn it on its edge. So, all right, we got our rust done. We got to look at our little, we didn't do any yellow around there, so we should be fine. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 6, where we can paint the doorknob and the hinges silver. So we're going to paint the doorknob and the hinges silver and paint the doorknob royal fuchsia. So let's see. So we're going to do the plate on the door where the doorknob is with the silver, but then I did the knob in silver or fuchsia, and then I did, so we can do that quick. So we have our silver, our Duncan UM956 silver. And we'll get just a little pile of that. And then I have a liner brush, and Courtney gave me, which one do you have that you did get some of?
I got the monogram liner, not the blue liner.
So the old monogram one, so I'll use that.
It's still new, like we've only had it.
Yeah, so this is the short-handled monogram liner that everyone liked.
And then I ordered slightly longer.
And then Courtney ordered this. This is the one she ordered and only got 3 of. It's a longer bristles on it. And we thought we had 45 coming, but we only ended up with 3. So I'll use the shorter one here that she used. So I'm just going to dip into my, and usually I always forget this too when I'm brushing. So you actually want to take your brush. So this is I don't know, these natural sable or not. So these are probably a nylon brush. Or your sable brushes, you want to dip into your water first and then pat them on your paper towel. And that will keep the paint from getting up into your ferrule part. And it'll keep it from building up inside your bristles just by dipping it in the water first and then patting it on your paper. It kind of conditions it. And then I will go into my silver. And then I kind of want a nice point on that. So I'm actually going to load up my liner. So I'm kind of turning it clockwise, a quarter turn, and dragging it through there, and that's loading those bristles up with that silver so that I can go further with my paint, and it's also putting a nice point on it. So now I can do my nice little hinges here. And we're just going to actually paint those on. We're not going to dry brush them. And this is a 20-0 liner, and you have these, right? The monogram liner we do have. They did send those, but not the...
I'll get with them with these angles. I'll fill that back order.
So if you ordered those, Cordy says she'll touch base with you guys, and after she touches base with our brush people. I'm just carefully painting in my little hinges to make them silver, and you don't have to do that either if you don't want them shiny and flashy. I kind of made them a little flashy because it's got that bright pink on it. And
so I'm going to put a link to the color wash workshop you did, but the video quality is not that, like, it's from back in the day.
Okay, so Cordy's going to add the link to a color wash video that we actually did a while ago. But it's kind of when we were first starting, so the quality isn't very good. So we kind of need to redo some of those videos because we've actually come a long way, I guess, in the last 2 years and learned a lot.
Looking at those videos.
So Cordy says, looking at it, there's a big difference. So maybe we'll have to redo that one. But she did share a link about color washing, kind of a little workshop that we did, a little freebie. So you can refer back to that if you want, if that helps you to maybe understand color washing a little bit. Now I'm going to do my plate on my door here with my little liner.
Any facts if you enjoy doing the live videos?
So we have a question: do I enjoy doing the live videos? I do. Because I feel like I'm helping people. So yeah, I do enjoy them. Sometimes it's a little stressful and as far as time-wise, but I would have never guessed it was 2 years ago already. It went really fast. It was.
You go and watch someone's whole video.
I mean, it was hard to do at first because I'm not like a public person, a big talker person. So I've definitely gotten better at it, I guess. It's kind of. I try to like think what I'm doing and try to describe that to you guys, so I'm not just painting and you're not just watching me paint. I'm trying to like tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing and how I do it, like just loading the brush now. Like I tried to explain that. So I hope that I'm helpful because that's what I'm trying to be. So now I actually painted right over the knob because it's easier than having to line it out with the silver and then line it out with the fuchsia again. So I just painted right over it. So then I'm going to wash out my brush and we're going to get our royal fuchsia. So we got some thumbs up, so I guess I'm doing a good job. So thanks, guys. I'm trying. Oh, so we have a question if I could explain the crackle finish with the Elmer's glue. So we did that last year in probably May or June, right? On the Cardi might be able to share that video too. We did it on the mushroom top. So you take and paint first. Well, so we're going to back up for a minute. I'm going to paint my doorknob here while I'm telling you about the mushroom. So I'm just going to paint my doorknob with my fuchsia, so it's nice and bright instead of with the black underneath it. So I think it was the May or June video last year we did the mushroom, and it was the crackle technique. And there are products you can buy in the paint department, or I think even there used to be ceramic ones. I don't know if there still are. But you paint your mushroom top. I like the white underneath it if we're gonna have a red mushroom. So we painted it white, and then you have to have Elmer's glue all glue. It can't be the school glue or the wood glue. You want Elmer's glue all glue, and you paint that over your mushroom top is what we did. And if you paint it in wherever you paint it, that's how it's going to crackle. So if you paint it in one direction, you're going to have one direction. If you do little directions this way and that way and that way, that's how your crackles are going to crackle. So you paint your glue on, you let it dry maybe 3 minutes, and then you paint your second coat over the top of it. And then as it starts to dry, and then as it continues to dry, the glue makes the top coat crackle, and it kind of pulls it away from the bottom coat, and then we could see the white through the crackles with the red on top. So Courtney did share that link, so you can go back and look at that too. But it's a really simple technique. You can do that on eggs, Christmas ornaments. I seen someone just did it on a snowman, on the snowman part of it. I think they probably did a gray underneath it and then put the white over the top.
Something with that purple mushroom top that turned out like a galaxy.
So Courtney did one. It was a purple one. We put.
Well, you did it for me.
You sponged it on instead of.
Okay.
So Courtney we sponged on the top coat of the purple, and I think we had white or cream underneath it. And then that made more really tiny little crackles on it. So depending upon what you're putting on, whether it's a brush or a sponge, that top layer, it can look different. But you just use the Elmer's Glue All glue, and it has to be the Elmer's Glue All glue. It can't be the wood glue or the school glue. So now I do see I have a little bit of rust up here on my yellow, so I'm just going to touch that up with this brush because I have rust in my yellow brush. So we have our doorknobs painted. Huh?
You're good at explaining.
I'm good at explaining things. Good. That's what I mean. I try to be step by step with it. So hopefully that's helpful. So now we have our silver on our door plate and our hinges and our royal fuchsia. So now we can paint our window panes gray. So do we have gray? So we have gray, OS474 gray. And if you don't have gray, you can take white and add a small drop of black to it, and you can make gray, because the grays have been colors we've been having trouble getting. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that gray. And where'd my little liner brush go that I was using? So I have this little table here, but I seem to lose my brushes. Oh, it's underneath there. So now our little all our little window panes, we're just going to paint them in with our gray. And again, I just draw my brush through that gray and then kind of do that quarter turn, and that loads that up. And now I'm just going to steady my hand on my piece and paint in our gray windows. How are we doing on time? Oh, it's bedtime, she says. Oh my goodness.
8:13.
Oh, it's 8:13. Okay, well that's good. We can probably finish with the windows, and I can do that little show and tell.
And then we go to bed.
And then she's going to bed, but I got to drive home and unload 20 cement blocks out of my car because I don't want to let them in there all night.
You want to storage it?
Probably. I don't want to unload them at home and then load them back up.
Watch for any creepers. Let me know when you're home.
It should be fine. There's light there. So we're just going to paint in our windows. And I do like to rest my hand on my piece when I'm doing that, so I have a nice steady hand. And then you got to turn your piece so that it's comfortable. And I also like to draw my brush towards me instead of pulling it away from me. Sometimes you have to pull it away from you, but it usually works easier if you can pull it towards you.
I guess she did your Elmer's technique on some eggs.
Oh, that's good. I haven't done eggs, but I know that should work pretty good on eggs too. And I would think Christmas ornaments as well. And there is, like, you could go right to the hardware store and buy a Crackle product, but it's probably a lot more expensive than the glue, and the glue works fine. And then I do seal those with a aerosol satin or matte sealer. Especially if they're going outside, because that glue, if there's just tons and tons of rain, that glue can kind of like get wetted back up. So make sure you seal it. So I'm holding my piece with my left hand, and it's on the table, so it's nice and solid. And then I'm also resting my hand right on my piece. And see, I have rested right on there. You want everything nice and not shaky and moving. And then I do have the 20 liner. You just can use a small liner because they're just little windows.
You're just painting out.
So I'm just painting them out, yep. You could probably do this part.
There's so much faith in me, I can't cook eggs.
Alright, so now we're going to come back to this side back here. And we got some windows on there. We'll get those painted with our gray quick. I don't know how quick it'll be, but Courtney's yawning back there. Yep. And then we bring it right up to our kind of our cross that's in that window.
That looks hard.
It looks hard, it's not.
Looks like that brush holds a lot of paint.
Yep, you have to, so Courtney says it looks like the brush holds a lot of paint. Yep, you have to draw it through your puddle and kind of load that up, and then the liner will go pretty far then. So you don't want to just dip, in it. You actually want to pull the brush through it, and then I like to turn it because then it gets a nice point on it. So I actually like load those bristles up with paint. So I guess I hope everyone has a good Mother's Day, and if you need a Mother's Day gift, we do have our e-gift certificates. I think Courtney added that link unless she got sidetracked again. Huh? You added it? Okay.
I don't know what you're getting, but
Well,
I can't get you your own gift card.
I don't need anything. We're gonna do shelves on Thursday. That'll be enough.
You're not getting eggs.
Oh, it's alright. I don't need eggs. We're moving the molds out of my house. That'll be...
Maybe I should paint the fried egg that Levi found.
Oh, there you go. We have a ceramic egg.
A fried egg.
One of my great nephews found the mold for, and
Had to have it.
he had to have it. So Courtney said maybe she could paint that for me. That'll be my eggs.
Get a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, I don't know why they'd have a fried egg, ceramic fried egg. I'm not sure what that's about.
It's legit. That's ceramic fried egg.
Yep. I suppose it could be a magnet look for like on your refrigerator.
It's the size of a real one.
Oh, I have good news for our local people because we ordered our molds, and I did order the big Doc Holliday eagle with the spruce tree. I don't think Courtney knew how much it costed when I said I was ordering it.
I can already tell you I'm refusing to ship it.
Huh?
I'm refusing to ship it.
Courtney says she's refusing to
Pick up the
have
money.
have them have it shipped, but it's coming on the top of the slip pallet, so I got away with it because the shipping would be a lot on it if it was just being shipped. But it's the large, I'm not sure what number it is, but it's the large eagle that's got his claws out in front of him and he's like landing on a spruce tree. So Pam, if you're watching, I know you'll be happy.
I probably got some whole pallet just for molds.
No, they'll put them on top of all three
Oh, okay.
slip pallets. They'll
Oh, we got
divide.
3?
Yeah, I got 3.
Oh,
Otherwise, it don't pay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what we discussed. 3.
That's okay. It's just a shock to hear.
It's just a shock to actually hear it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Probably be a shock to see it too.
yeah, it probably will be. Oh, and then we ordered some more Donna's inserts too, so that's good news for you guys because those are shippable. That eagle's not going to be shippable. He's too big. His wings are out in the air. So the robin one that you had picked out, I put him on hold because I found a hummingbird instead.
Okay.
We can get the robin next time because that's more.
Yeah.
Spring will be done by the time those are dry. We got the hummingbird beehive with bees, dragonflies, frogs, the turkey for Thanksgiving, the fall one with leaves and acorns on it, the snowman one. I got a new Halloween one because ours is kind of worn.
Oh, I kind of thought that.
So I did throw that one in there. And I think I had the gristmill one on there, but I think I took it off. I'm not sure. I have it written down at home.
Lisa said hopefully it arrives safer than Michael Harber's precious metals box. Do we have a oopsie?
Well, yeah, so he talked about that last night. So Clay Magic wraps their stuff in blue, so they know if it's been unwrapped.
Uh-huh.
And because the trucking companies are trying to get everything on like one load because they're short drivers and stuff, they must have redid his pallet.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the liquid golds and silvers.
No way.
And like $1,000 for a little box.
Yeah.
And as the trucker was unloading it, it was ready to fall off the pallet. He caught it or something.
Oh my goodness.
Because they must have like made
mm-hmm.
2 pallets into one or something. Because they're short on truck drivers and
darn.
yeah. I mean they'd have had to cover it because it's insured, but just the idea, like, they'd have died when they knew how much that little box costed.
Right.
So I'm just touching up my gray here to make sure my window looks nice and cute.
Even that happened where they stacked a pallet like they were supposed to and then it crushed.
Yep, so like when I used to get slip in the boxes, the slip company would put a cone type pyramid on top of the box, the pallet of slip, so they couldn't put other pallets on top of it. But that was all crushed, so they must have put another pallet on top of it, and then there were broken boxes and pallet. It was a mess.
Like a mess.
Yeah.
A muddy mess.
So that was kind of a mess. But now we just get the dry clay and the talc and the sodium silicate and potash. So that can. I mean, I've had a bag bust open where the forklift stabbed it when they must have loaded it.
That ain't nothing like liquid slip.
But that's better than liquid slip all over. So, but we did add some new molds to that order. So we got the Donna's inserts. Vicky, if you're watching, I'm pretty sure we added your bunny, but I may have waited until the next time because it's kind of past Easter. And then we did get the Donna's sprinkling can where the inserts fit in too, but that might be too big to ship to. And that's it.
It sounds very expensive.
Well, there was 12 inserts.
Oh wow.
The watering can, the eagle, and then the boxes or the July molds. That's kind of it. It wasn't much.
Wait till the bill comes.
Oh, and then the three little dinosaurs I told you about for the kids. Not dinosaurs, dragons.
Okay.
They look like little dragons. They're like little 4-inch dragons for the kids because we have some kids that like dragons. So I did get a little dragon mold. And there's 3 or 4 dragons in the one mold. So they're brand new Donna's molds on their way. And one Doc Holiday. Alrighty, so we have our windows all painted in here and looking all cute. So I'm going to wash out my brush, and you just want to go back and forth in your water. I'm going to pat it on my paper towel, and then when you store your brushes, you want to store them vertical until they're dry so that the water doesn't get down in the ferrule and loosen your glue. You don't want to store them standing up. Once you wash them out, let them dry horizontally, and then you can store them vertically after that. So I think we will leave off at number 7, and we'll pick up at number 8 next week. And we'll get our rocks and our bees and stuff done. And then we'll work on our fairies too. I don't think we'll get quite to them next week, but I can show you your box that's being shipped because I know we have some new people on tonight. So this is our box that's being shipped this week. We have more Boris, the gnome, and then we have our mushroom, and I can compare him to the fairy house. So he's a little bigger than the fairy house. And then we have our mushroom. And then some of you have added Hannah, the girl. And you've also had some that added Morty with the moral mushroom. And then we have Pappy or Poppy. He's the sitting guy, which you could put on a little block of wood and he could sit. So we have a nice little set. If you wanted to have a whole set, then you could make a whole little vignette out in your garden with our little, all our cute little pieces here. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight and had a good week, and I hope you have a good week, and I hope you have a great Mother's Day. And Courtney can't believe it's Sunday. She must have missed the calendar altogether, but that's okay because we're going to move molds on Thursday.
I should get a card, but I got time.
No, that's okay, Courtney. Don't worry about the card. We're moving molds out of the house. I'll be happy. So I guess happy Mother's Day to you guys and happy painting, and we will see you next week. Like our video if you're liking it, so we know you guys like it and we're doing the right stuff. Your boxes are in process.
A huge chunk of tracking numbers today.
So we will
The rest should probably come tomorrow.
check in with you guys next Thursday at 7 Central Time, and I hope you have a great, safe week and enjoy Mother's Day and the weekend and spring. So thank you guys so much for joining us.